News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP. Okay, our number, 800-288-WBAP. Top Democrats urge Biden to criticize Trump more and avoid talking about policy record. He needs to stop. This is several top Democrats, according to Fox News, and they're reporting from a CNN report. He wants the credit for the economy, but it's still not working. One top Democrat told fake news CNN he needs to stop. Imagine spending 50 years of your life in politics and now becoming the guy. You want people to know you're doing a really good job, one major Democrat donor told CNN. I think Biden can't help but talk about what a good job he's done. I don't know. I don't think I know anybody. Or if I do, they're not super close people in my life that actually thinks that Biden's doing a great job and he's been doing a great job. I don't know anybody. The top two issues in our country are still the economy / inflation and illegal immigration. And I don't think that's going to change in the next 5 months. And he has failed miserably on them by choice. It's been his choice. And so there's kind of a dual track going on here. What should Trump do? What should Biden do? J.D. Vance, who could be a vice presidential nominee, he's one of the top three candidates now, supposedly, according to a report yesterday we talked about from NBC News. J.D. Vance says that he should use his secret weapon in his debate with Biden, which is what? He loves families. He just sort of really likes people. And I think if we can get that sort of to shine through, then that's going to help him more than any particular policy debating point. Trump is a better debater for sure. He certainly has better ideas. He's able to communicate them much more effectively. But we also have to realize the deck is fundamentally stacked against Trump in a very profound way. All right. And again, no studio audience, but that literally, I don't think it matters. He did a great job. The Apprentice was an amazing hit show for years. There was no studio audience there, except for maybe the finale or something. All right. So a couple things. Will Donald J. Trump, the big thing is, will he let himself be his own worst enemy, which it has been it's what it's been for years. And I certainly hope that doesn't happen this time. And there's some evidence to believe that he won't do that this time. The way he's been handling things in the press, the statements he's been making for the most part have been a lot more under control. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's polling so high. People 3.5 years later are remembering how it was under this man, and they're loving it. And they're remembering and they know how it is under this man right now, and they're hating it for the most part. So Trump's job is to not remind them of his warts, and to not get into it much, to literally say, you can attack me all you want personally. Because Joe Biden's job is to get under Trump's skin and get him to freak out. And Trump's job is to literally say, you can attack me all you want personally. I'm focused on what I'm going to do with this country. And what I did in my first administration is just a taste of what you're going to get in the next one when it comes to the economy, inflation, jobs, and illegal immigration. And we're going to put a stop to what you've done to this country in the 3.5 years you've been the president, Joe. Focus on that, and you will win. Focus on the piddly crap that Joe's going to be doing is like, debate, like trying to light fires and set off a fuse on you to have you blow yourself up. And you darn well better not take it. Because if you do, I think the right way to put it is, I can't remember if it was the first debate with Trump in 2020 or the second one where he went nuts and was interrupting so much. He lost that one. I think the second one it was where he was more calm, or was it the first one, and more composed? That one he won, and everybody thought so. You cannot lose this first one. This establishes the whole tenor of the campaign. I think it really is that big of a deal. I haven't heard anybody say anything else. And I think Joe Biden's going to regret doing this so early. Because if he has a negative performance, even a moderately negative performance or mildly negative, I think that begins a continuation of what's been happening, and the numbers go down, down, down. All right, here's a few questions for you. Chime in right now, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. What's more likely to happen, Trump to have an emotional outburst or Biden to have a cognitive mishap? If Trump stays out of it, he'll have a mishap. If he doesn't get involved and he sits back and lets Joe hang himself with his rope, that he gives him enough rope, he will hang himself. He's going to trip up expecting Trump to get involved. He trips up on his own with no debate. Let him do it to himself. Stand back, brother. Let him hang himself. Would you put it past Democrats? So that's one question. What's more likely to happen? Trump having an emotional outburst or Biden having a cognitive mishap? I think the cognitive mishap is more likely. Although if Trump goes back to his regular ways, he's going to have an emotional outburst and he's going to lose. Second of all, would you put it past the Democrats to implant a hearing device deep inside of Joe's ear? Would you put it past the Democrats to actually do that, since he doesn't have no cards to read off of? And what's your advice for Trump heading into Thursday's debate? And what would your advice be to Biden? 800-288-WBAP is our number. Chime in right now, 800-288-9227. Lines wide open. 800-288-WBAP. What's more likely to happen? Trump have an emotional outburst or Biden have a cognitive mishap? Do you think Democrats might be willing to implant some kind of a hearing device deep inside Joe's ear that's not noticeable? What's your advice for Trump heading into the debate? What's your advice for Biden? 800-288-WBAP. Okay, my advice for Biden is not get angry and to try to get Trump angry, because he's got nothing to run on. Biden can't run on international peace. Biden can't run on no wars. Biden can't run on a safer America. He can run on a safer world. He cannot run on the economy. He cannot run on jobs. He cannot run on. He can run on jobs, but that's primarily because of COVID. As far as all the jobs that were lost came back in that first year or so, that's not his accomplishment. And a lot of those are illegals. Actually, most of those jobs are illegals. At least half of them are illegals, according to Fox News. At least half of every one of these so-called 15 million jobs are illegals. The rest of them were primarily COVID jobs that came back. So, but he can run on that. But he cannot run on inflation. He cannot run on the economy. He cannot run on interest rates or home prices. He cannot run on grocery prices or gas prices. He cannot run on peace and security and foreign policy. He has to run away from those, actually. Trump, all he has to do is focus on his accomplishments and tell folks what he's going to do. And the first thing I'll do, I would have him say, is first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get inflation under control immediately. I'm going to change all these policies that have created this inflation. I'm going to do the opposite of what this man's done to make sure our economy flourishes. I'm going to give more money back to the middle class and poor, and anybody making under 400,000 going to see a big, or 300, 200,000, 250,000, whatever it is going to see more money in their pocket. They're going to see less inflation. They're going to see lower gas prices. We're going to pump all that oil. We're going to finish up we're going to refill the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which he has destroyed and just emptied out to like 35 to 45% of what it used to be. And it's not for elections and politics and getting your polling numbers up. It's for our security should a catastrophe happen or an international war break out that affects our gasoline supplies. That's what I would tell him. And I would tell Trump, under no circumstances are you to get angry. Under no circumstances are you to interrupt, and under no circumstances are you to do something while Joe Biden's talking. You let that man sit and hang himself. The more you talk over that man or try to, the more you do anything while he's talking, he will get a reason to point to you, and he will bury his mistakes by pointing to you and making it look like you. Don't let him do that by not doing anything while he's talking. Just sit there and smile. And get a lot of smiles. All right, Laura in Richardson, you're going to be first. You want me to take her now, or should we take her? Yeah, okay. Laura, we're going to pop you on, actually. Laura, you're in Richardson. What's up? WBAP, hello.
Yes. Well, you were talking about the device in Biden's ear. What if Trump wore some kind of electronic device that would make that earpiece squeal?
Would you put it past the Democrats to do that, was my question.
Well, no, but just to make sure, why not counter it with some other electronic device of your own?
Yeah, like something that, like, woo, 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 that would take a hearing device and,
It makes them squeal. It hurts a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And then he reaches into his ear. Ah!
Yeah, see?
Interesting.
And they tell on themselves.
Although I will tell you this. I don't know all the precautions or what it's like, but Secret Service does some pretty wicked things to make sure that nobody messes with anybody in that area,
Well,
so they might not be able to get that device in, but nonetheless.
Well, it's a happy thought.
You know what? Yes, it is. But you know what else? It is a happy thought. Happy thoughts are good thoughts. You know what else, though? I don't think he could handle people talking in his ear while he's trying to think of something. I think that he would probably.
I think it would confuse him.
Yes, it would. I think he would. He might want to. He might think it might help him, but I think in the end it would hurt him because he'd be like, and you have to stop and listen. Unless somebody said it in his ear only while Trump was talking. But nonetheless, thank you for your interesting idea, Laura.
And I think that Trump should be calm. I agree.
And you agree?
Very calm.
No interrupting.
Yeah, he should just stand there and smile. That sheepish grin of his.
That's exactly right. And he should be happy and do a lot of positive stuff, right?
That's right.
And name the women who have been raped and murdered, and name the families you've talked to, and ask Joe, why haven't you called them? And why haven't you changed the policy and shut the border down, huh?
Because he's seen so many of them. He makes it a point to get in touch with people who have been distressed.
Right, but turning it on Biden, hey, why haven't you called them? Do you know their names? Do you know their names? I do. That kind of stuff. I challenge you to mention their names. To see if you can name any of them. All right, listen, thanks for your great call, Laura. I appreciate it. All right, we have 4 lines open right now. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. There's a few things I want to get into continuing on this. Catherine Herridge, remember her from Fox News? She was the Pentagon correspondent, and then she went to CBS News. And at this time, it appears she may have separated recently from CBS News. She tweeted out something with some legal documents about the Hunter Biden laptop and how it's relevant to the upcoming debate on Thursday. I'll share with you what she says there. And then from columnist Jerry Baker today in the Wall Street Journal, Trump versus Biden, how this presidential debate can change everything. I'll give you some details on that, plus your call at 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. What's more likely to happen? Trump have an emotional outburst or Biden a cognitive mishap in the debate in 2 days? And would you put it past Democrats to implant a hearing device deep inside Joe Biden's ear? Don't laugh. It's possible. And what's your advice for Trump heading into the debate Thursday? And what advice would you give to Biden? That's next on the Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. Uh, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. We are 2 nights out. We're less than 48 hours from right now, literally less than 48 hours. We're going to be carrying the debate, the only radio station carrying it live, the entirety of it. And it'll start 7:55. I will introduce it at 7:55, and then we go live, and then you and I react in real time. Follow me on Twitter to see my reactions in real time on Twitter, at Chris Crock Show. That's at Chris Crock Show. We'll have tons of highlights, tons of talk about all night long on that, this massive night. The interesting thing here, a couple different things. Our number, by the way, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. What's more likely to happen? For Trump to have an emotional outburst or Biden to have a cognitive mishap? And would you put it past the Democrats to implant a hearing device deep inside Joe Biden's ear? And what's your advice for Trump heading into Thursday's debate? And what's your advice? What advice would you give to Biden? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 4 lines open. Chime in right now. By the way, look at this. Catherine Herridge just tweeted this out. Hunter Biden laptop. The explosive allegations about Biden's family misconduct were buried, and millions of Americans cast their vote for the president without a full set of the facts. This is from a congressional investigation and the results thereof, a report from the congressional investigation of this. And she puts, note, at least one participant figured prominently in controversial talking points during the Obama administration. And if you look at this, she kind of blew it up and circled it. I'll just read the line for you. And this is why Trump must bring up the laptop, but don't do it in a way that's nasty or anything. Just say, hey, Joe, are you going to apologize to the American people for lying since your campaign head, Antony Blinken, put that letter together and recruited those 51 former intelligence agents to sign that? And since it is true and your Justice Department just used it in the case against your son in federal court, your Department of Justice, will you apologize for saying that it was garbage? Because it's all true and you know it now. Anyway, she circled this, Catherine Herridge did, in the Committee for the Judiciary Select Subcommittee on Weaponization of the Federal Government, etc. President Biden even cited to the statement in a televised debate with President Trump the explosive allegations about the Biden family's misconduct were buried and millions of Americans cast their votes for the president without a full set of facts. So I would... that's on my Twitter feed. You can see it for yourself and share it. Frank in Corsicana, what do you think? What's more likely to happen? Trump to outburst or Biden to have a mishap? And your advice for them. Frank, you're on WBAP. What's up?
Hi, Chris. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I expect them to bug him because we're talking about a people, Democrats and Biden especially, who have no morals, no ethics, no good candor, and all of whom are no good themselves. Exclamation mark. And but I think that Trump, he's got to be careful. I believe, like you said, but I think he also, there will be times to seize the moment, which I think he should take up, and but control himself, as you previously stated as well, and that he should, not just temper his mood and his mannerisms, but his speech as well.
I agree. I very much agree. He seems to have been doing that publicly in a lot of his discussions and debates and all that kind of stuff, interviews, hasn't he? He seems to.
I perceive that he's learned some things.
Yes, and he wants to win. He can go as nuts as he wants once he wins, but until then, you cannot if you want to win. He badly wants to win this. Jerry Baker, I'll share some tidbits from his column today. We'll do that next. Plus, what percentage of people expect for Trump to interrupt Biden? What percentage expect Biden to mess up his words? What percentage think Biden will have problems standing up, or Biden will walk off the wrong side of the stage, or Biden will forget where he is? I've got all those stats next in a brand new survey. A legit one coming up next on the Chris Kroc Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. And then KJP gaslights us. She talks about eggs, milk, groceries. Gas prices are all down. It's all down. Can't you tell when you go get grocery shopping? Aren't your bills lower? That's next. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Right now, we're kind of wrapping up. I'll give you the question again. What's more likely to happen? Trump to have an emotional outburst or Biden to have a cognitive mishap? And would you put it past the Dems to implant some kind of a hearing device deep inside Joe Biden's ear for the debate? And what advice would you give Trump heading into it? And what advice would you give Biden? Look at these numbers. Number again is 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Chime in right now. Line's wide open for you. Look at these numbers. 8 and 10 expect Trump to interrupt Biden. 7 and 10 expect Biden to mess up his words. Look at this. Okay, 80% of the voters say Trump will interrupt Biden. Actually, it's 79%. Biden to mess up his own words, 70%. That's pretty bad. Trump to tell a rambling story, 61%. Trump's mic to be cut off, 54%. Biden to forget where he is, 49%. Half of every American says that Biden will forget where he's at in the speech, in the debate. And wait a minute. Yeah, they'll forget where he's at. Where he's at is half of everybody. And then Biden to walk off the wrong side of the stage, 41%. He'll walk off the wrong side of the stage. And then Biden to have a problem standing up, 40%. Woo! Well, those are some bad expectations. Now, Jerry Baker, the columnist for the Wall Street Journal, mentions that issue. But first, let me tell you this. Biden has had, Jerry Baker writes in the Wall Street Journal today, Biden has had fewer press conferences than any sitting chief executive in 40 years. The state of the race has evidently gotten so alarming for Democrats, he says, that Biden and his handlers have clearly calculated he must take a gamble. His presidency, more than 60% of the electorate thinks it's a failure. Dude, after 3.5 years, more than 60% of the electorate thinks your candidacy, your presidency is a failure. That's kind of numbers that has Democrats all panicked. By the way, did you hear that President Hussein Obama, former President Hussein Obama, and former candidate, lozenge lizard, and cackling, or what do you call it, cackler, and coughing Hillary. I need a lozenge. Remember, she coughed every time she spoke for like a year when she was running? Excuse me, I need a lozenge. A lozenge? She is a lizard. She's a lozenge lizard. Okay, they're giving advice. She wrote a column to him, and Mr. Hussein Obama is conferring with those folks. Did you hear there's 16 people that are with Biden? He has not been seen from or spoken or heard in 5 days. He's going to be there for 2 more days. 7 days of being cloistered away. And 16 people are literally working on him. 16 freaking people. You know what Gina Perino, the former comms director for Bush, President Bush, G.W. Bush, you know what she said? If this was George Bush's presidency, and she was with him when he ran for re-election and won, she said, you know what he would have said if they showed up with 16 people? He would have said, I want these 4, the rest of you go. And listen to this. They have taken an airport hangar and turned it into a studio with the lights and everything. They've recreated the freaking studio. Have you ever seen or heard of this before? 16 people working on them. And they're going around. They're in an airport hangar, and they're also in some other massive building, and they're going back and forth, doing all sorts of things. I think they're gonna overload this guy. I know it would overload me. I will never forget one of my great program directors who I haven't talked to in decades, or at least maybe 12, 15 years. I don't know. I got to reach out to him because he has taught me so much, and it only took me about 10 years to figure out how much he taught me in a good way. And one of the things he taught me is, Chris, prepping for a talk show or whatever it is, you can prep yourself into paralysis by overloading yourself. And that's what I used to do when I was in Minneapolis. And that's what he taught me not to do anymore. He said, stop doing that. It was the hardest thing ever for me, doing too much work, which makes it too complicated. I still do that, but I got better little by little. I think I'm still getting better trying to do that. But continuing on, he writes, Gerard Baker writes, Ronald Reagan's "Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?" That's a good idea to do again. The timing, weeks before he is formally renominated the DNC, is not coincidental. He thinks to get this in before that to try to secure his delegate votes. What's more, he says expectations have been lowered to such a level that Biden may need only to stay alive or at least awake for 90 minutes. And I think that's going to be the case. But Trump, if he shuts his mouth, I hope he doesn't let us down. And I have to be honest, if he does let us down, we got to be honest. When we talk about it Thursday night, we're carrying it live, 7:55, all the way through to the completion. And then I will come on and give you the greatest ever post-debate show ever you ever hear in your life. Because I'm just that good. Maybe. Last but not least, surveys from Emerson College and The Hill show Biden is... Wait, what? The surveys from Emerson and The Hill show, Trump. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what? No, it wasn't Biden. Trump edging out Biden in every swing state. You ready? This is from a couple days ago from Emerson College and The Hill. Arizona, Trump up by 4. Georgia, Trump up by 4. Michigan, Trump up by 1. Nevada, Trump up by 3. Pennsylvania, Trump up by 2. Wisconsin, where I worked for on and off for 3, 4, 5 years, which is the next to my hometown of Chicago, right by that great state. Anyway, Wisconsin, Trump leads by 3. In all 6 states, Trump's lead has either remained the same or grown from the polls the previous month. Nice. But it does not mean... Why do I keep forgetting to turn my phone off for 3 days in a row? I literally get sick of missing phone calls throughout the day because I turn it on mute, because whenever I don't, I forget it and it goes off during my show. So I've been turning it on during this. I'm going to remember, and I forget. I think I might be in the same position as Joe Biden. I might be getting the dementia, Alzheimer's, early onset. I need some help down here. Okay. Now I need some help down here. Inflation. Did you hear what KJP said? Tell you what, we're going to come back, and I'm going to give you in a moment. We're going to come back, and coming up next, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play audio from KJP, brand new audio from her on Fake News MSNBC, and she is saying that all the prices for eggs, milk, gas prices, they're all down. So my question for you is, do you believe that? Do you actually think that prices from January 2020, when Joe Biden took office, do you actually believe that they're down from then to now? Do you actually think that's possible? Is that true? Are you seeing lower grocery bills today than you saw from when Trump left office? Could it be? I know when Trump left office, my budget was $500 for groceries for me and my 2 children, young adult children now, but for us 4, it was $500 for 2 weeks. And I'll tell you what it is now, coming up next. Hint, it's not lower. That is next on the Chris Crock Show. We're going to give exact prices, too, from several sources. And I'm going to ask you the following questions on this. Do you feel like your grocery prices have gone down? Have you been able to spend less money for groceries lately? Has your insurance gone down? You know, your home insurance, your homeowner's insurance, your car insurance. Have car prices gone down for you since Joe Biden took office? Have home prices gone down? Is there anything maybe you've noticed, interest rates lower? Anything you may have noticed that's been going down? Have you seen inflation going down? It's reported to be going down. And do you think if we keep Biden for another 4 years, the prices will go down right back to where they were when Joe took office? Is that possible? Next on the Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Before we hear KJP, we have news. Breaking news. Jamal Bowman, who was screaming and swearing as... what's her name? AOC was dancing. Did you see when she was dancing? She literally danced like she was, I don't know what, like somebody threw cockroaches in her pants or something. It was really weird. Wasn't it gross? Weird? I don't know, not gross. Wasn't it weird looking? Didn't she look like she doesn't know how to dance? She was like twirling, like, I don't know how to dance, but I'm dancing here because she's a dancing fool, a dancing fool. She danced. Jamal Bowman cussed, swore, and yelled, and he lost big time. He lost bigly by 9 points. That's a bad loss to a moderate Democrat. He ripped AIPAC, our Jewish friends. They threw him out. They threw the bum, the Jew-hating bum out. The Hamas-loving Jew-hater is gone. One member of the squad falls. Amen. The problem is, I don't think that... I think AOC is vulnerable. That's what I was reading today, that she is vulnerable. And I think that the other thing is... I think the one thing that was, what's her name, out of Michigan, there's a lot of Jew haters in her district, and I don't think she's going to ever get knocked out. It's a high Islamic population, and there's a good amount of them who love Hamas and hate Jews, and they're always going to keep her. I think that that's probably going to be the same for Ilhan Omar, too, for some time, sadly. Although the way Jamal Bowman just fell, you never know. She could fall too. There's a high Jewish population in her district too, but I don't think it's high enough. You think that there's enough common sense Democrats there, but there aren't, unfortunately. Now, inflation. Let's hear what KJP just said about inflation on Fake News MSNBC. Listen closely. I want to ask you if this is going on if this is happening in your life. Here it is.
So yes, eggs and milk, and there were grocery things that were up. It has gone down. It has gone down since 2022. Gas prices, because of the actions that this president took, and let's not forget there was an invasion, but Russia did obviously into Ukraine that caused gas prices to tick up. The president took action, tapped the SPR, and we saw gas prices go down. The president has met the moment with every issue that we have had in front of us.
He has met. I like when you talk like this. You uptalk like it's a question. The president has made the moment at the front of us. In other words, has he? I'm supposed to be telling you, but has he? My statements are with questions. That's your head spokesperson for the president. Well, my question for you is, do you feel like your grocery prices have gone down? Have you been able to spend less money for your groceries lately? And I don't care what 2022 does to you. She said, well, 2022 is 9.1% inflation. That was Joe Biden-induced 9.1% inflation. Whoa, look, it's gone down since 9.1. The prices have not gone down. Have your grocery prices gone down? Mine haven't. I spent $500 every 2 weeks for groceries for my family of four. It's now $800. If we make it at 8, it might be a little bit more. And we don't buy a lot of, pricey, fancy stuff. We treat ourselves here and there. Like if steak's on sale, we'll get some good steaks, but not very often. Okay? Not often enough, unfortunately. I'd like to get more. I'll give you some prices here in a second. My car insurance, my homeowner's insurance, that's up. Our car insurance, just in the past, from last year to right now, went up 22%. 22% in 1 year. What did you say, ma'am? You said our prices went down, Korean Jump here? Really? So are eggs back to what they were when Trump left office? In your world? They're not mine. Are grocery prices back to what they were when Joe Biden took over? When I was paying $500 every 2 weeks, $1,000 a month on groceries? No, it's $1,600 a month for my family. That is a Joe Biden $7,200 a year tax on just my groceries. How about gas prices? Have they gone down? I'm not talking about from a year or two ago. I'm talking about since Joe Biden took office. They've done nothing but skyrocket. Homeowners insurance, car prices, home prices, interest rates. Is there anything you've noticed that's been going down or that's gone down since Joe Biden took office? Do you actually see grocery prices the same that they were when the day Joe Biden took office? I don't. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Here's my questions. Do you think if we keep Biden in for another 4 years that prices will go down? Try to ask you that without laughing. Have you seen inflation going down as it's reported to be? Has your insurance, car prices, home prices, anything you've noticed been going down? Do you feel like your grocery bills have gone down? Are you able to spend more money for groceries lately? Not in my world. How about you? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Look at this. When Joe Biden took office, let's do here. Baby wipes have gone from $4.25 to $6.64. Your baby wipes are now almost $2.50 per baby wipe package more than they were when Joe Biden took office. Your bleach is now $2.10 more from when the day Joe Biden took office. Cooking oil is now $3 more from the day Joe Biden took office. Cow's milk is now up almost a full $1. Deodorant is up $3 freaking dollars. Dog food is up $3. Eggs are up $1.50 for a dozen. Nutrition bars are up $2 per whatever package. Paper towels are up $3 almost. Potatoes are up 62 cents. Ramen noodles are up 46 cents per package. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. I've got it right here. I'm holding it up for the folks to look at on my Facebook live feed. You can be watching me every day on Facebook for the first hour of the show from 8 to 9 at Facebook.com, Chris Kroc Show, at Chris Kroc Show, CHRISKROK. Let's see what else I have for you. Oh, the famous Wall Street Journal graphic that shows that grocery store prices from when Trump left office, grocery store prices, all the stuff in this picture is $100.30. It's got milk, eggs, grapes, carrots, lettuce. I'll just read some of them. Bananas, frozen fruits or vegetables, Tide laundry detergent, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, it's a basket of groceries, $100. The same price now is $136. $36 more for every $100 you spend. So for $500, you're spending like $160 more, supposedly, for the same basket of groceries. Roy in Dallas, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP.
Yes, sir. Thank you for bringing this matter up again. Apparently, she hasn't gotten out of the White House into the real world. Let's say she comes to Dallas and she sees people in lines stretched for more than 1 mile at a church center that's giving away charitable donations of food for people who are unemployed or supplementing the income that they get from government from the EBT card or WIC. And also, in addition to that, in the mail, you receive donation requests for the North Texas Food Bank, Feeding America, and Feeding Children. Am I not mistaken?
No, you're not mistaken. They're at the highest levels ever. I agree.
Yes, sir.
There is no relief in sight. A listener asked me a year or so ago, I'll never forget this great question, are grocery prices going to go down back to where they were? And the answer is no, they're never going to go back down. But here she is telling us, dancing a jig and telling us that it's gone down. Nothing's gone down. We all know it. You can pee on my back and tell me it's raining, but we all know you're lying. And so that's it. Coming up next on the Chris Crock Show, gun violence. There's no such thing. There's violence. There's no gun violence. Guns don't get up and hit people. Gun violence, an urgent public health crisis, according to our Surgeon General. He wants to put labels on firearms, warning labels. Do you think that'll stop the criminals? That and so much more. Oh, he also wants to ban something that doesn't exist. There's no such thing as an assault rifle. There's rifles. There's no such thing as an assault rifle. AR doesn't stand for assault rifle, but the people that want to take them away sure think it does. That's up next.